Alright guys, welcome to VALORANT news. A big teaser coming through today as to exactly what NRG have got up to over the last couple of days, confirming it seems Ethan's rumours of a couple of days ago that the contract gel situation has been resolved and NRG have indeed signed the players they were intending to sign. If this means they've got the team we think they might have achieved, what's this team going to be like? How's it going to work with no in-game leader? Who's going to be the in-game leader? Will they be falling short to some of the other more potentially well-structured teams in the Americas? Very much interested in your thoughts in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always. I would greatly appreciate it. First of all, got to close out, of course, the Convergence tournament that concluded yesterday. So the grand finals after the group stages was between Vitality and FUT Esports. Vitality took the game one, but after that it was, FUT Esports came through, as you might expect them to theoretically in this type of tournament. So Ascent was 13-11 to Vitality, and then, Runner had a great map here again. But after that, CNED and the rest of the guys kind of came to play, and it was a Sunset 13-11, 13-11 Lotus, and then 13-8 on Haven. So really close. Definitely a lot of ice, really, from FUT Esports in the end of these series to get over the line. And to be honest, Vitality were pretty impressive. The fact that they went up 8-1 here and lost is going to be frustrating for them. And again, an absolutely ridiculous Lotus, and Vitality will be kicking themselves. They somehow went up 10-2 and won the pistol, and then lost all the rest of the rounds for the rest of the series. So, well, not for the rest of the series, but after that, it was not great for Vitality. So lots for those guys to learn, but I like the Vitality team. I like the FUT Esports team. Cool to see them come to blows early on. How good will they be in their region? Probably not good enough to be a serious international contender. I don't expect to see any of these teams at Masters Madrid, but who knows, right? And it's early days for both of these rosters, especially Vitality. I think they can make some progress over time. There was also a pretty cool thread here from Rabia just discussing what happens behind the scenes at Convergence. What did he think about, what were the good things? What about the dislikes? The event exceeded expectations in terms of production quality, considering it was the first ever off-season event in India, and, goes on to talk about the bus service to reach the venue. Great initiative. Like, the esports lead was really active with the community, online and offline watch parties, addition of a non-partner team to give them an opportunity to compete is a pretty cool idea. True Rippers, of course, did pretty well. The trophy was great. But yeah, they were talking about maybe Delhi or Mumbai would have been better locations for it, more of a hub potentially. People mentioned other cities as well. Weak media communication, which is pretty interesting. Social media marketing, not so ideal. We do our best to promote these tournaments here on the channel, but maybe it could have been better. Talking about, the tech delays and problems like that. No Sentinels as well, which is pretty funny. Like, you could have got that. And also no SK Rossi in the show match was a good point. So, exactly why was that not done? So, some interesting analysis, I suppose, either way. But congratulations to FUT Esports. They take the victory at the Convergence, guys, this time around, but at very early days before the season begins. Not that long from now, I suppose, to be fair. This also from Som, of course, not playing at the start of the season, formerly of NRG. We'll discuss NRG here in a second. He also mentions, what do you guys think about this? So, minus Breeze plus Icebox. We've seen Breeze be played a little bit more lately, but I will say, since the Breeze changes, it's not been a massively popular map. And even if we look at this series, Breeze was, banned by FUT Esports first of the series. And that is really how things are going at the moment. The feeling, maybe I could just have a look at this quickly on VLR.gg. Some of you guys asked what this website is. It's VLR. You guys can feel free to check it out in your own time. And you can also find cool stats like this over at rib.gg, so runitback.gg, where you can see attacking and defensive win rates on certain maps. And you can also see stats here on play rate. So that's the, 7.39% play rate where the purple bar is. So you guys can see that Lotus and Haven and, Ascent, for example, and even Binds have pretty big pick rates. Breeze is, it's not tiny. And if I just sort by the most recent patch update, well, this is actually patch 7.10, so let's say from November the 15th and onwards, you can see Breeze has, again, it's about 8% play rate. It's actually about the same as Sunset and not far behind Split. So it's not like everyone bans Split or everyone bans Breeze, and never plays it. It is still kind of played, but and it's a reasonably balanced map now, actually, probably more so than it used to be. Icebox is here. Okay, probably some slight data inconsistencies with 100% overtime probability. But, you see what we're saying. And Icebox is definitely liked by many, liked by quite a few people. I know that some would like to see Icebox back in the game and Breeze to be gone. I think Breeze is okay since the new changes. I still don't love it, really. I'm not massive fans of the change they made, but I think they have their place. I never really liked Icebox, so personally I'm happy as it is, but I know that many players would like Icebox to be back. Som especially had some pretty good highlights on the map, right, over towards that red crate, towards that side of the map on the B side. My feeling is that I'd quite like Fracture to return, really. I thought Fracture was actually a pretty good map rather than Icebox, but that's just my maybe kind of controversial opinion. Now, there was a funny clip circulating yesterday that I'll share for you guys on on exactly why this graphic was then made. Now, this is a troll graphic. E.g., Asuna isn't going to be a thing, but it's because Asuna and Boostio have been talking a lot over the last few days, and Asuna has leaked 100 Thieves Boostio probably 3 or 4 times at this point, probably more than that, to be honest, on various podcasts and everything. He's basically just told everyone that Boostio is coming to 100T. It's just a matter of time until the contract runs out at EG, and that's officially going to happen. But they were talking about this, and Boostio was saying, oh, I can't wait to do whatever when we're teaming. And Asuna was like, oh, what do you mean teaming? Like, we're not on the same team. Am I joining EG or something? So, you know, that's therefore why this started to come about.
Yeah.
Did you watch IQ? Yeah, that was good.
Say, if we get a team dinner, does no... I'm gonna be blacked out on the floor.
Team dinner? Wait, what?
Like what, bro?
What team are you talking about? EG? I'm not joining EG.
Yes, you are, bro.
But as I say, only a matter of time until 100T Boostio is going to be confirmed, but we also think the same story for NRG as well, and what the plan is going to be over there. We've seen many hints over the last few days from George Geddes and others that, you know, Ethan's going to come through, Demon1's probably going to come through, with Victor, Marved and Crashes. That is the expected roster, but lots of questions on this team if it was to come true, exactly how good they would be. Ethan said the other day, December the 15th, now that effectively they'd broken out of prison, it's a done deal, the contract gel situation that EG trapped them in has been resolved, and this is what we saw from Ethan's side. We saw Com as well, kind of saying, oh, you know, the boys are parting ways to some degree, but we didn't really see anything from NRG yet until yesterday, when NRG then come up with a tweet we'll see in a second. Marved also responds to Ethan's tweet as well, so they couldn't really be making it any more obvious what's going on behind the scenes, I would say. And then NRG come up with this one, ladies and gentlemen, we got him, and, you know, busting down the door and getting the boys out of there. So this very much seems to imply that, you know, here we go, NRG are in, and they've managed to effectively save Ethan and Demon1 from the contract gel situation and got them out of there. So that's an NRG are definitely implying that the negotiations that probably have lasted at this point quite some time to try and get Demon1 and Ethan out of that situation, that's apparently now happened, and probably they're going to go to NRG with Victor, Crashes and Marved, as we might well expect it to be. So lots of reaction to this tweet, of course. Cloud9 says NRG expected to win Champions 2024. But look, that team on paper is discussing, right? Going in there, getting Demon1 into the roster with Ethan, you know, 2 world champions. Feel bad for many people if this is true, because look, they're busted in here and got apparently the prized assets, Ethan and Demon1, out of that situation, paid for the money, effectively saved those players from the EG disaster class. But what about Jorgamo? What about Com? What about even Potter, right, the coach of the team? I guess Potter's staying, but I feel bad for if that's going to be the case, to be honest. And then Jorgamo, where's he going to go? We thought maybe G2, but that's not happening. Com, we don't really know. So yeah, feel bad for those players. But also, what are NRG meant to do? Of course, they're going to get the best players they can theoretically get. The big question is, like, what's happening from the leadership standard? I'm sure as and when this might well be confirmed, there'll be lots of talk about it, and, you know, I'm sure various people will be giving their opinions on whether they think it's going to be a good idea or not, what NRG have decided to do here. But if it is Victor, you know, because they've had FNS in the past, and other great IGLs have been around the scene. This team, there's no clear IGL. Now, I think I will say that on other teams in the last couple of years, there's not necessarily been a necessity for, you know, a god tier IGL. I mean, Boostio definitely did a great job on Evil Geniuses, but again, you know, he's a young IGL, brand new really to the role. Not sure anyone expected massively that EG Boostio was going to be a dominant force IGL at the end of last season. And then Paper X, I mean, they just basically wing it, but, you know, they are an exception for sure and not the rule. Most teams have a dedicated IGL, and obviously, Marved did a pretty good job, I thought, for Sentinels last year when he stepped in and did the IGLing role when Def was out of there. But of course, now you look at Sentinels and you think, well, now they've got John QT in, an actual proper IGL who's, you know, intending to IGL, and he's very mechanically gifted in addition, and Sentinels are absolutely cooking. So this is when clearly a valuable IGL is an important aspect of the team. But at the same time, some teams have kind of made it work without. And in the case of this potential NRG roster, I feel like either Marved would do it, but I don't think he would. I think Ethan would do it. I think Ethan's had the feeling of maybe doing that before, and I can see that working for Ethan, to be honest. So, I don't know. It's going to be an interesting question. I know that a lot of people are going to say they'll be screwed with no in-game leader, but I can almost feel it working in a similar way to what we have right now with, maybe even Sentinels in some way. They've got John QT as the IGL, but also Zeltis is there now, doing some secondary calling, being very vocal. I can see maybe Ethan IGLing and then Marv kind of being a secondary caller guy. Lots of talent, but probably more questions about their roster than many others. Because, they could have got FNS, they could have got somebody else. There's an argument that says that Victor, Crashies, and Marvs, put them with FNS and SOM, and you're going to be fine. But that's not what they're doing. They're taking a different route. And I think, look, you get Demon1 in, it can't be a bad decision. And I know that many teams will look at that roster of NRG and think, like, how can they be bad? And I don't think they'll be bad. Like, I think they'll be one of the best teams in the world. But the difference between them being a top 8 team internationally and a team that's capable of winning events is whether they can perform at the highest level in the big matches. And I think that's going to come down to how their leadership and communication situation works, which is no doubt the big question mark of if this team actually comes together. But very much interested your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Take care. And I'll see you next time.